Huh. Well played.
Help prevent opioid misuse before it starts.
This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host on a cool Tuesday morning. It's just 30 degrees. We're a little bit below freezing. You'll be turning on the defroster for a while before you head on down the road on this Tuesday. We're going to warm up to right around normal. Bountiful sunshine. We had a big spike in the temperature yesterday afternoon. We got all the way up to 53, which was considerably warmer than the forecast. It was nice out yesterday. Going to be pretty nice, pretty quiet, not a lot to talk about from Mother Nature's perspective right into the weekend. Next week, Thanksgiving week, that's another story altogether. We'll have the weather forecast for you because it's the one thing that kind of affects everybody. Most people want to know what exactly Mother Nature has in store for us today. There is a lot of news to get to. In sports, Pete Carroll had his Tell the Truth Monday press conference. He always does those on Mondays after the Seahawks play on a Sunday. We'll talk about that. Kraken lost, scored the first goal against the Avalanche, and that was about it. We'll have that when we get to sports. In the back half of the program, we spent all of Thursday of last week up in Leavenworth. Did a bunch of interviews. Glad we did. Had a really good time. And one of the interviews we conducted was with David Vey. David is a member of the Leavenworth Village Voices. They've been together for over 4 decades. David's one of the newer members. They're just a bunch of Leavenworth folks who get together and like to sing. And they'll be doing their annual Christmas concerts coming up at the Snowy Owl Theater. 3 shows planned, December 2nd, December 10th, which is a fundraiser for the Upper Valley Band, and then a special show on December 16th. It's called Christmas in the Mountains. It's all going to be at the Snowy Owl Theater on the campus of the Icicle Center for the Performing Arts, and David will tell you all about that when we get to the interview segment in the back half of the program, and Mike McNally's got an opinion too. Well, you can't have everything. Where would you put it? You probably have to buy a storage unit. All right, let's go around the valley and north central Washington with our cameras as the sun is beginning to rise. 7:04, official sunrise this morning. Sunset tonight, 4:26, still losing about 90 seconds of daylight a day. We're down to 9 hours and 22 minutes of daylight. That's pretty much right down the middle of the Columbia River as we look at the Wenatchee Valley from our, well, some people call it the cross camera. I call it the Wenatchee Heights camera. It doesn't really matter either way. You know which one it is. Good morning to the valley. Good morning to Lake Chelan from our Greens Knob camera. We sometimes have that pointed north, sometimes have it pointed south. This time it's pointed south. Lots of clear skies up in the Chelan area. That camera is quite a ways up Lake Chelan. Again, we flip it around the other way. We're pointed up towards the Holden Village area in Stehekin. This is actually pointed down lake from our Greens Knob camera. That's quite a ways from the town of Chelan, but it's still a beautiful view. This should be a really spectacular view. How's Lake Wenatchee looking today? It's looking something like this. I don't think you can get tee times at Caylord Glen anymore. I seriously doubt that. You can see the snow on top of Dirty Face. How long is that going to last? Well, it's cold up there, probably for a while. And the Cascade Mountains, can't quite make out Fish Lake. Good morning to Lake Wenatchee from that camera. And Leavenworth. Speaking of Leavenworth, we had a good time in Leavenworth. We really did. The good people up there. Good morning to Leavenworth. When we were up there, they had all kinds of scissor lifts and man lifts. They were putting all the lights up all over the hamlet of Leavenworth. And we were there on a Thursday, and there were a lot of tourists in Leavenworth on a Thursday. I guess that's just the way it is. Good morning to Leavenworth on this Tuesday. So the long-term outlook, this is for next week. Again, for the rest of this week, pretty quiet. The long-term outlook for next week, and this includes Thanksgiving Day, we have about a 50 to 60% chance of our temperatures being below normal. So it looks pretty good. Temperature is going to be in the chilly side. We could see afternoon highs only in the 30s for Thanksgiving week. Precipitation right around normal. I don't think we're going to have any more or less rain or snow than we would normally have for next week, but it is going to be colder than normal, and with that trend of cooler than normal temperatures, snow in the mountains is likely. Snow in the lowlands and the valleys, perhaps. A little too far out to tell you, but I want to let you know next week, including the holiday, is going to be cooler than normal, perhaps quite a bit cooler than normal after the rather pleasant weather we've been having lately. from the National Weather Service, it looks something like this. You want sunshine, you're going to get it. All day today, a high of 46 or normal high 45, right around normal. Our normal low is 31, so we're looking very normal-ish for the afternoon high and the overnight low. Just a couple of clouds. Wednesday morning, it will eventually see sunshine and a high of about 47. Kind of chilly. Wednesday night, well below freezing. Wednesday night into Thursday, more sunshine Thursday, but because of the cold start after the sun gets going on Thursday morning, we're not going to warm up particularly a great deal. High of 44. We'll do it again on Friday. This is a nice forecast. I'm liking this. Saturday, a little bit of change, especially Saturday night. Expecting some rain. Now, the snow level is going to be right at pass level, right around 4,000 feet as far as the snow level is concerned, but we're expecting rain on Saturday afternoon. For the most part, Saturday, during the day, it'll be sunny. That system that's going to bring us the rain is not coming in until Sunday night, but it's going to give us some rain, it looks like. Sunday, a little bit of light rain in the morning outside of that sunshine and a high of 51. And about 48 and a partly cloudy skies on Monday. Just not a lot of weather to talk about. Are going to get some rain overnight Saturday into Sunday, but it's a pretty weak little system. That's going to kind of slide right on by. Sunshine going to rule the day for a while, and we like that. All right, that's your forecast. Up next, your news. You're watching the Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
It's the music that revolutionized the sound of Christmas. Mannheim Steamroller Christmas by Chip Davis. Celebrating the holiday spirit for over 35 years. Don't miss this holiday extravaganza. Mannheim Steamroller Christmas by Chip Davis. America's favorite Christmas tradition.
In today's environment, risk management assessment is a crucial process for your business. Risk assessment will identify, evaluate, and mitigate hazards. Don't let risk impact your business income, reputation, operations, and your overall success. We can give you peace of mind by transferring your business risks to the insurance providers. Call Stacy at August Edge Insurance today to schedule a risk management assessment for your business.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
A cloud to be seen. 30 degrees, sunshine all day. Temperatures mid-40s, sunshine on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday for the most part, Saturday and Sunday. 9 minutes after the hour, the highly watched race for the Wenatchee School Board is very close to finally going into an automatic recount. Just 19 votes now separate the incumbent board member from District 2. That's Marie Iniguez from her challenger, Randy Smith. That's the tally after a Monday evening count of ballots that hadn't yet been tabulated since election night. Now, the difference between the candidates is exactly 0.5%. Now, any race with a difference less than 0.5% triggers a mandatory machine recount. The Iniguez-Smith race proved to be the narrowest of all the county's elections. Just over 8,000 registered voters live in District 2. About half of those people actually cast a ballot for that race. The Chelan County Auditor's Office says there are still 111 ballots to be counted, but that's county-wide. So we don't know how many might actually be from voters in the school district's 2nd district, or if any of them of the 111 are from that district. A vehicle rollover shortly before 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon proved to be a real pain in the rear to get from Wenatchee to East Wenatchee. A lot of people got tied up in this. No injuries, fortunately, but boy, it was a significant traffic backup. Emergency services said a pickup truck was towing a trailer with an unoccupied truck on board and apparently went out of control on the Stevens Street approach to the bridge. And that crash blocked the eastbound lanes while crews worked to clear away the damaged vehicle. And then, just after they were done, they cleared the scene, they moved out. The Wenatchee Police Department said a second crash in the same area again brought eastbound bridge traffic to a standstill. The dramatic highway shooting that closed Highway 17 near Moses Lake last week has now become a homicide investigation. One of the victims apparently died in the hospital. 18-year-old Dominic Hernandez died less than a day after the gunfire broke out. This was on November 5th near the highway intersection with Grape Drive. His passenger was wounded in the shoulder. His Ford Focus rolled after the shooting. 20-year-old Sergio Higuera allegedly told police the occupants of the other car displayed a handgun and he opened fire in self-defense. Higuera is now charged with second-degree murder. He's being held at the Grant County Jail on $500,000 bond. City of Leavenworth is looking into maybe adopting a multi-family housing tax exemption. That's a tax strategy designed to lure apartment developers into communities that need apartments. The City Council plans on a public hearing tonight on the proposal. It would offer a 12-year property tax exemption for rental homes or a 20-year tax exemption for owner-occupied. Either exemption would require at least 25% of the housing units to be affordable to low or moderate income occupants, and it would only apply in areas zoned for commercial or multifamily apartment occupancy. The council will meet and discuss this tonight at 7 o'clock. The regional director of the Washington State Department of Fish and Wildlife met with Chelan County commissioners yesterday morning. They're talking about land, lots of land, big section of it. A new land transfer meant to improve the Clockham Wildlife Area. Brock Haynes told the board a Chelan County family wants to sell the 742 acres that they owned in Scroggie Canyon, that's just south of Wenatchee, which lies adjacent to the wildlife area. Hannah Bates, who oversees the Clockham lands, says the acquisition would enhance the area, which stretches all the way down into Kittitas County.
It's a beautiful piece that's connected to our existing lands. It's got mule deer, elk, bighorn sheep. There's a lot of potential restoration habitat availability there where we can look into shrub step restoration and resilience there in that area that's been hit by wildfires previously. So there's a chance to really mitigate for those areas and then restore them back to historical range. It's also a very big area for recreation, being so close to the parking access and headquarters building there. So there's a lot of opportunity for the public if we were to acquire this property as well.
State Representative Mike Steele not only lives in Chelan, he got to do a little ribbon cutting. Not long ago, they celebrated the completion of 2 new homes in partnership with the Chelan Valley Housing Trust. The local organization serves to fight against the local housing crisis by providing more affordable housing, such as those 2 new structures that you see there. Both of the 3-bedroom homes are located on Iowa Street. They sold for $330,000. They're scheduled for occupancy next month. That's below the median home price in the town of Chelan, which is $638,000. K&L Construction served as the general contractor for the project. The new homeowners, local teachers, and retail workers. Public Lands Commissioner Hillary Franz has decided not to continue her race for the governorship. Instead, she announced last Friday that she's going to switch gears and setting her sights on the United States Congress. U.S. Representative Derek Kilmer, who represents Washington's 6th District, is not going to run for re-election. Franz, of course, first announced her bid for governor back in May. In her announcement, Franz highlighted issues like rising housing prices, reproductive rights, and the climate crisis as reasons while she's running now for Congress. She first took office as Lands Commissioner in 2017. And Jacqueline Maycumber is the state representative of Washington's 7th District. That includes Douglas, Okanagan, part of Grant County. Maycumber says she ran for the House to try and help rural kids learn skills that they could bring back to their communities. Last week, she sat down with her very own Jefferson Robbins, and she said that legislation she successfully sponsored last year may do just that.
Growing up in Eastern Washington and seeing as a graduation went and our kids left and they had to go to other places to become successful or become educated, making sure our kids had the same opportunities we did. And I didn't really see that happening in the last few years. So making sure that they have the opportunity to education, the economic opportunities, and then the futures in our community, that we're not exporting our greatest generation or our greatest commodity, and that's our kids.
Well, one thing that you brought forward through the House, talking about kids and opportunities, was House Bill 1013, which established regional apprenticeship programs for the trades. What spurred that, and what kind of effects do you expect the bill to have?
Well, I'm very excited. It's been signed into law. So right here in Douglas County, we're going to see the great benefits, hopefully soon. So what it did, it's kind of like Running Start for the trades. So instead of college, you should have the opportunity to learn some skills and some trades for your future. And the building trades and a lot of other trades, from medical field to anything from plumbing, you need those skills. And I saw kids graduating high school with not understanding, what their skill set is, what they felt good about, and hope. Really hope for the future. If you knew you were going to go to college, you had that opportunity. But if you didn't, where would you go? And asking them to move somewhere was a little more difficult. Get training somewhere else, go somewhere. So having that opportunity while you're in high school, that's the most important thing, and learning what you're good at. So I'm very excited about this policy. It was signed into law. It passed the House and the Senate, and I'm really excited to, once again, get those skills, what we call hands-on skills, back into high schools. So kids will, when they leave, they will have a job, they'll have an opportunity, or they'll have a skill.
It establishes trade centers, or trades education centers, 5 of them, I think, statewide, 2 of which have to be on the east side of the Cascades.
Yes.
So you see those outreaches having benefits for your district, Douglas County, I think you mentioned?
Yes, absolutely. So the Eastern Washington ones are directed towards the ESDs. So our whole ESD 171 will have access. So each high school has access to the curriculum, which is one of the curriculums they can choose is the AGC, so general contractors. So that's a basis that has been approved through the state of Washington, or apprenticeships can come in, whether that's plumbers or pipe fitters or operators or carpenters. They can come in to the high schools, provide the curriculum, so they're learning that opportunity and that hands-on skills, and we can do it all through the corridor on 171 and Eastern Washington 101.
That's what's making news on this Tuesday. We'll have a newscast for you tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. It's a show we like to call the NCAA Life Evening News. You got to call it something. Seemed kind of obvious. Again, on TV at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. If that doesn't work for you, you can always watch it online by going to our website, ncwlife.com, our Facebook page, or our YouTube page. It'll be up and running right around 5 o'clock. And if something out there that you think is newsworthy, you get a hold of us. Best way to go about doing that, you send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. Still to come, sports, the Obscura holiday. Today in history, some celebrity birthdays. Mike McKnight's got an opinion, and we're going to talk to David Vey of the Leavenworth Village Voices. Get you in the holiday spirit with David. All coming up in a Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCAA Life channel.
Most of us are in touch with the internet in one way or another all day long. A fast, secure connection matters. It keeps us entertained, informed, and in touch. Local cares about your connection. We know strong, reliable internet with your choice of speed makes life better. If you need fast, reliable internet, or maybe an upgrade, or you just have questions, connect with us by visiting localtel.com or call 509-888-8888 today.
Gather your loved ones this holiday season at Washington's premier mountain resort, Sun Mountain Lodge. Join us for a lavish Thanksgiving feast where warmth and tradition meets gourmet cuisine. Celebrate Christmas with 4-course meals that will enhance your taste buds. Bring in the new year with a bang at our unforgettable New Year's Eve party. And watch as the night sky explodes with dazzling fireworks. Book your holiday getaway to Sun Mountain Lodge.
Winter is a great time to trade in your current hot tub. Turn your old hot tub into money with Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa's trade-in program. You can save $500 to $1,000 off of any new artesian spa or take advantage of a free Bluetooth music experience. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa recommends draining your hot tub every 3 months. Ask us about our drain and refill special. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa today.
Meet the Move Meter from Coldwell Banker. Just enter any 2 cities and see how a potential move scores based on cost of living and more. Let's make your dream place a reality. Meet the Move Meter from Coldwell Banker. Just enter any 2 cities and see how a potential move scores based on cost of living and more. Let's make your dream place a reality.
20 minutes after the hour, great start for the Seattle Kraken, yeah. And about it. They lost to Colorado last night 5-1. Brandon Tanev is back for the first time this season. He had an injury, but he made his presence felt right off the top, scored the first goal of the game, and that was about it.
He pushes off for Wenberg. He'll get after it. Wenberg out of the corner. Out in front, off the stick of Tanev. Back it goes, Dunn. Here it comes. Stop the rebound. They score! Guess what? It's turbo time! Brandon Tanev makes it 1-0. Seattle off and running.
Again for Tanev. But watch McCann goes right to the front of the net, takes the eyes away from Georgiev. That puck just goes right off the pad. Tanev's able to beat his mark back towards the net. Good shot right there, getting it through from Dunn, but it's Tanev in his work ethic to get back to the front of the net.
Cale Makar off the draw. Devon Taves with a shot. Body down off the side of the goal. They score! It's whacked in with Mikko Rantanen. Off the draw. Taves. McKinnon. Devon Taves. Stopped by DeCord. They score! It's Ross Colton on the rebound. Getting to it is Jonathan Drouin. Tatar to the outside. Ryan Johansson. Caleb Jones. Makar to the line. Tatar. Makar with a shot. He scores! Cale Makar and Tomas Tatar combined. 15:46 left in regulation. 3-1 Colorado. So the youngster gets out there. Beniers is not necessarily an oldster at 21, but older than 19-year-old Shane Wright. McKinnon. Drouin scores. Jonathan Drouin gets his first goal as a Colorado Avalanche. Blocked, stinging Oleksiak. He gets it back. Mikko Rantanen. McKinnon. Makar. Nathan McKinnon. Makar again, a shot. They score! Down the Chushkin out in front. Power play goal, 5-1 Colorado. Colorado goes to 9-5. 5-3 on the road. They will surround the goaltender, Alexander Georgiev, as the Colorado Avalanche tonight get it done 5-1.
After the game, Tanev lamented about the fact that they let Joey DeCord down. The Kraken got real aggressive offensively, and that proved to be their undoing.
When you have playing against some of the best players in the world in a power play like that, the more chances you give them, the better the opportunity they're going to have. I think we left our goaltender out to dry. You know, Joey made some fabulous saves, some 10-bell saves, and unfortunately we weren't there to help him when we needed it.
Yeah, that was cool. It's always nice to be supported by the fans. Yeah, that was a cool moment, especially with, you know, I heard that a lot last year. So that was really cool to hear that up here. Just wish we could have given him a better result.
Well, you just keep working. I mean, you know, we've got to, you know, it was nice to get Brandon Tanev back tonight. You know, we haven't seen him for 15 games here, so it's nice to get him back in the lineup. We're hoping that, you know, we'll get Ebbs back in sooner than later. We'll see where he's at for the next game. You know, and that will rearrange things a little bit, and we just have to go back to work.
The Kraken are struggling. Can they turn it around? We'll find out tomorrow night. They will be in Edmonton to take on the Oilers, 5:30 on Root Sports Northwest. Wenatchee Wild back on home ice tomorrow night At the Town Toyota Center, Tri-City Americans in town. After losses over the weekend in Alberta, Wenatchee has now fallen to 4th place in the Western Conference of the Western Hockey League. They are 11-8-1. The Americans just behind the Wild at 10-6-1-1. The puck will drop tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. It's local tonight, by the way, at the Town Toyota Center. Seahawks sit a half game back of the 49ers, the NFC West, after their last-second win over Washington on Sunday. Coach Pete Carroll, as he always does on Monday, met with the media and said while he's happy to get the win, there are plenty of things to clean up before they take on the Rams this weekend.
Well, we had good meetings today coming off this ball game here yesterday. There's a lot of good things that happened. There's a lot of stuff to fix and correct and all that, as always. We feel like we're on it and pleased that we made it out pretty healthy, and looking forward to getting going again this week. So a lot, you guys asked the questions and all, but there was a lot of stuff that I really liked in that game. I liked that we were, and generally I'll say that we got back to playing 60 minutes of football, and it was very similar and familiar to the other games that we've been playing that have been in the same fashion. And to me, that's a big deal. We've got a way that we want to play football, and that will take us all the way through the finish, and I really like that, and gives us a chance to win in every game.
Boye Mafe had another sack against the Commanders. That means he's had a sack in 7 straight games. That's the Seahawks record. Coach Pete Carroll says, yeah, second-year player's pretty good.
Who would have predicted he'd set a record, for consecutive sacks? But really the sky's the limit. And he's just getting started, and he's still a new guy coming up, but he's playing with such consistency now that it gives him a chance to be available for those kinds of plays. He's got to hit it right on his rush, even though Leonard did set it up beautifully. He's still got to hit it right and time it right. He did it perfectly, and gets a clean sack, nails the quarterback. Perfectly, He was close a number of times. On the touchdown pass that they throw to Gibson, I mean, you can't get closer to stopping that play with his rush, and he looks like he's getting held, and he's hitting the quarterback. The quarterback's arm can't even go past the release, He's so close on that one. So he's causing problems, and really fired up about it.
126 rushing yards for the Seahawks, including Zach Charbonnet. He's getting more and more playing time with him. And Kenneth Walker III in the backfield. Coach Pete Carroll says that's a nice 1-2 punch.
Just in general, I hope that I've said this enough that you guys know that he can do everything. He blocks, he can catch, he runs routes well, he understands the scheme, he's consistent, he's really physical. He's got a real physical nature to his game, even to the point where he didn't quite get out of bounds, on the hit. He couldn't pass up that shot, There's nothing that we don't like about him. He's got a different running style than certainly than Kenny does, but he reads the line of scrimmage well. He's a really good football player. So we have a lot of confidence in him. He's playing down the stretch, in stretch drive. He's out there, going, and that's just confidence that he's given us. By who he is and how he practices and how he performs. And really, he hasn't had a ton of plays yet, but there's no doubt that he's in it, and we can count on him. So really fired up about him.
Seahawks in L.A. Sunday. It's a divisional game against the Rams, 1:25 kickoff on Fox. And after waiting a couple of weeks following the district championship, the Wenatchee Panther girls volleyball team in the state tournament, it starts on Friday. Their first round opponent, Glacier Peak. Friday morning at 9:45. If the Panthers win, they would go into the quarterfinals. That would be Friday night at 7:15, and they would take on the winner between West Valley and Curtis. If they lose, they will take on the loser of West Valley and Curtis at 3:30 in the afternoon. The Panthers trying to win the 4th trophy in school history at the Sun Dome this week. 40 years ago, they won the state championship. They took 3rd in 1982 and 4th in 1978. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this 14th day of November. Happy National Pickle Day. I've already gotten 2 emails from Jimmy John's. Apparently, they're giving away pickles. If you're a Jimmy John's Club member, you print up the coupon and you get a free pickle. Of course, pickles are just cucumbers that are soaked in brine, vinegar, and salt and called good. The idea of turning cucumbers into pickles goes back to the year 2000 BC in India, and eventually spread all over the world by European sailors because, of course, pickles have a very long shelf life and they're pretty easy to make. Cucumber, vinegar, and salt. That's the basic recipe. The term pickle is actually Dutch in origin, which means to brine. That's what that means, pretty much. And again, it was the sailors taking pickles on long voyages across the ocean that brought the pickles from the general India, Pakistan area all around the world. We love our pickles. About 70% of all American pantries has a jar of pickles in them somewhere. North Americans prefer pickles with warts. Europeans prefer pickles without any warts. I don't really care. Approximately 20% of all pickles sold are refrigerated, and they have to stay refrigerated in order to stay fresh. And of course, once you open a room temperature jar of pickles, you got to put it in the fridge when you're done. Pickles, since they're cucumbers, are fruits. People don't think of it that way, but it's true. How many pickles do just us in America eat each year? You want to guess? About 20 billion pickles, according to the experts. That's a lot of pickles. And the most popular pickle is the dill pickle. I, for one, love a good pickle, and I'm not real particular. Dill, kosher, I don't care. They're all good to me. Happy National Pickle Day. Celebrate it with somebody you love. It's 31 minutes after the hour. Today in history. Appalachian, New York. Appalachian, New York is a small little town right on the New York-Pennsylvania border. It's only about 2,000 people. Nobody really even knows where Appalachian is. But Appalachian, New York was also the home of Joseph Joe the Barber Barbera, who was one of the major crime figures back in the 1950s when they had the famous 5 families, the Genovese family and the Colombo family and all those families. And they all got together on this date in Joe's house in Appalachian, New York, to talk about, let's see, we all get together, let's talk about drug trafficking, extortion, loan sharking, we got the unions, what else? We got gambling. The 5 families got to get together and talk shop, and so they did. They all got together in the tiny little town of Appalachian, New York, and that was real smart because people started to notice, the residents of the small village started to notice, there's a lot of really nice big cars in town without a state license plates. What's that all about? Local county sheriff began to investigate and ran a few of the plates, put one and one together. They blockaded the roads in and around Joe Barbera's house, and they raided the joint, found about 100 members of organized crime had all gathered to talk about shop. About 60 of them ran off into the woods behind Joe's house. They all got caught. About 50 were charged with all kinds of different crimes. They were fined and sentenced to imprisonment. They were all those convictions were overthrown on appeal. But the big thing, if there's any really big thing about the Appalachian raid back on this date in 1957, is that J. Edgar Hoover, the director of the FBI, who always denied there was any such thing as organized crime and crime families based in New York and spread all over the country, said that doesn't exist. That's a falsehood. Well, he couldn't really say that much anymore. Boy, there's a nice lot of cars around town. What's going on? You didn't have to be smart to be an organized crime. Duh. 53 years ago today, Southern Airways Flight 932, carrying 37 members of the Marshall Thundering Herd football team, the coaching staff. There were 8 of them. There were 25 boosters. There were pilots, stewardesses, the person who put together the charter flight. They were flying back from Greenville, North Carolina, back to their campus in Huntington, West Virginia, after losing to East Carolina 17-14. Here is the NBC Nightly News with Roger Mudd.
Good evening. A charter jet carrying the Marshall University football team home to West Virginia crashed last night as it tried to land at the Huntington Airport. All 75 persons aboard were killed. It was the worst plane crash in the United States so far this year. Barry Seraphin reports.
One former player said the Marshall University football team was just beginning to show its potential when it traveled to Greenville, North Carolina yesterday to meet East Carolina University. Marshall lost, but it was close, 17-14, and the two teams exchanged congratulations afterward. It was the first time this season Marshall's football players had flown to a game. The flight home ended here on a muddy hillside a half-mile down the slope from the runway at Huntington's airport. The chartered DC-9 flying in through rain and fog glanced off a ridge and then nosed down, shearing off trees and exploding in flames. Everyone on board, the 38 football players, the coaches, a group of fans, some prominent local citizens, and a 5-man flight crew, died. Firemen, police, civil defense, and National Guard personnel worked through the night, combing the debris for bodies. Most of the victims were burned beyond recognition. Their bodies were taken to a temporary morgue set up in a National Guard armory, but identification was difficult. With daylight, a bulldozer was brought in to move large sections of the fuselage and motors, which remained intact as the grisly search continued. Federal investigators swarmed over the site today. A National Transportation Safety Board official said the pilot may not have known he was flying dangerously low until it was too late, because Huntington's Airport, which sits on top of a hill, has no approach radar system.
They weren't supposed to fly. They weren't going to fly. It was the campus of Marshall University in Huntington, West Virginia was close enough to all their road opponents. They usually just took charter buses. They weren't going to fly. The charter company said, all that football equipment, all the players, it's too heavy, we can't fly. But they got rid of a bunch of the equipment and other things, so they were light enough to fly. Weren't even supposed to fly. In West Virginia today and today only, all flags in West Virginia are flown at half staff. There is a fountain in memory of the 75 people who died in the middle of the campus. That fountain is ceremoniously turned off today and is not turned on again until spring. Still remains to this day the worst strategy ever to affect any sporting team in this country. And let's do some birthdays. A heavenly birthday, McLean Stevenson, always best known, of course, as Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake in MASH. Left the show after 3 seasons to pursue a career. And as he later described, I discovered that people like McLean Stevenson, but they loved Henry Blake. He starred in 4 shows after MASH. The McLean Stevenson Show, which lasted 12 episodes and then was canceled. Then he moved on to In the Beginning. He played a priest. That lasted 5 episodes. It was canceled. And then Hello, Larry. It made it for an entire season, 31 episodes, and it was canceled. And finally, Condo, which lasted for 13 episodes and then was canceled. McLean Stevenson, born in the state in 1927. And the guy who had to wait 70 years to be king, King Charles III, is 75. He was 3 years old when his mother ascended the throne. He was 70 when he ascended the throne. He is 73 today. Still to come, an opinion from Mike Mad Dog McNaughty. Plus, we're going to talk to the folks at the Leavenworth Village Voices, specifically David Vey, who is a member of that outstanding singing group. They got 3 concerts coming up at the Snowy Owl Theater. But first, super duper thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air, a rarely and hard to find platinum sponsor here at the NCW Life Channel. Mike McNaughty's opinion is next.
So, how's Evan?
Well, he's all grown up now, but I worry about him.
So many dangers in the world. COVID, the environment, the opioid epidemic.
Yeah, I hear opioid misuse is on the rise.
I don't even know how to start a conversation with him.
This might help. GetTheFactsRx.com. There's a whole section on how to talk about opioids with your family.
Offer support, not judgment. Cool.
Talk to your family about the dangers of opioids. Visit GetTheFactsRx.com.
Get your favorite beverage and a wide variety of food choices all under one big roof at the Tap Room in Pybus. The Tap Room has the most popular choices for lunch and dinner in the Valley. With unique appetizers, salads, sandwiches, and tasty rice bowls, everybody will find a new favorite dish. Plus many craft beers from Hellbent Brewing, or you can choose wine, cider, or a delightful craft cocktail. Experience the family-friendly Tap Room at Pybus for yourself. It's just what you've been looking for.
Bob File Boats and Motors is your local Yamaha headquarters. For more than 30 years, Yamaha outboards have delivered far more than superior power, performance, and efficiency. Yamaha owners get something that can't be measured in horsepower or RPM. Legendary Yamaha reliability. Find the Yamaha outboard that fits your life at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
At Kennedy Group, we understand that buying and selling is more than a transaction, and it's more than just a house. This is where you will gather with friends and family and where a lifetime of memories will be made. But buying a home is more than memories. Oftentimes, it's your biggest financial decision. The agents at Kennedy Group understand this and provide real estate advice based on your goals and dreams. Call us today and let's find your happy place.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a 4-letter word. I think we should hire more people.
Doug, late for a meeting.
Hey, we need to build a home office. We're adding another bathroom.
We need a warehouse.
I can't imagine how we do that.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, advertisers, let me tell you this. If you start your radio ad with some fast-talking auction-type guy giving the required legal disclaimer at the beginning of the ad instead of at the end, what I hear is we got something to hide. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. A radio ad that starts with, use of this product may cause arthritis, heartburn, arthritis, and suddenly death, and that goes on the slower voice that tells you how great their product is. Now, I ain't buying it. No how, no way. If you start your ad with some fast-talking guy with the legal disclaimer at the beginning, I don't think so. This is Mike Mad Dog McNutty, and that's my opinion.
Have you been to Boswell's Furniture lately?
Yes, Boswell's has an expansive 2-story showroom filled with so many great choices for our living room, dining room, and bedroom.
Did you know that Boswell sells directly from their store inventory, so we wouldn't have to wait to get our new furniture?
Yes, plus Boswell's has free local delivery and complimentary design service to help us with the layout and fabric choices.
No waiting and amazing customer service. I mean, why would we go anywhere else?
Boswell's on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.
Check out ClubCrowCashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
The road can be a crazy place. Uh-oh! That's why Les Schwab Tires fixes brakes, steering, and more. And those guys don't. Keep driving. I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first, so I can backseat drive with confidence.
During our fall tire sales, save up to $250 on a set of 4 select tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Tickets are on sale now for the Numerica Festival of Trees, a Christmas to remember. Presented by Numerica Credit Union. The 5-day festival is held November 15th through 19th. Has ticketed and free events for the whole family. Hurry, get tickets today for this swanky soiree on November 17th or 18th, presented by Confluence Health. Guests are encouraged to dress up and place bids on their favorite songs as professional dueling pianists play on center stage. Or if it's Tannenbaum trees you're looking for, the Tannenbaum auction on Sunday, November 19th, presented by Confluence Health and Blackburn Financial, is a casual, family-friendly event. Guests of all ages are invited to wander through the array of artificially designed 4 to 10-foot trees. Make it a heartwarming celebration of the holiday season for everyone to cherish. The Festival of Trees is the largest fundraiser for the Numerica PAC. Get tickets at numericapac.org/FOT today.
Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue, family owned and operated on North Wenatchee Avenue, right next to Hooked on Toys. Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue uses only fresh ingredients handcrafted with love, including authentic Hawaiian barbecue and Japanese-style ramen noodle soups. And the bubble teas will keep you coming back for more. Enjoy the culinary tour of the Pacific Rim with Hawaiian barbecue lunches and combo plate classics, as well as ramen noodle soups. Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue. Enjoy their comfort food like you're one of the family.
Welcome back to the program. You want to get yourself in the Christmas spirit? You want to listen to the Leavenworth Village Voices, and they're going to bring their dulcet tones of some really cool people who call the Bavarian Village home. And they do this for fun. Don't take my word for it. Take David's word for it. David, introduce yourself to our television family.
Thank you, Dan. My name is David Bay. I work full-time for Microsoft, but during my free time, I like to volunteer for the Leavenworth Village Voices, which is an all-volunteer choir that's been around Leavenworth for 41 years. I mean, this is our 41st year in existence. And we take all sorts in. You don't have to audition. Everything is volunteer. All you got to do is start singing Christmas music in August, and then right after Thanksgiving, we start actually performing in town. We walk around, we do carols. It's a community effort, and the point is to bring Christmas joy and spirit to all the people that live here, but also all the tourists that come here and they want to feel that closeness of this beautiful town that we live in. And we are always recruiting too. We love having new members. This year we could have used some new members, and it's a small ensemble group this year. Last year was a much larger group. So from year to year, we really have to adjust to the sound, but we take all people so if you have a voice and you've sang before and you want to show that voice and exercise it, come sing with us during the holidays. It's a wonderful, wonderful time.
So you don't need like a baritone or a tenor or anything. Anybody who just wants to sing.
Anyone who wants to come sing. And we will place you where you belong in the group with what section you're in. And it's a good time. What's really cool about those, you meet a lot of really neat people, very talented people, unique backgrounds to each one of them.
And the most important thing is when you're singing Christmas music, you're not singing from here, you're singing from here.
Yeah, it comes from the heart.
Here.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
You're giving that joy back to others, and that's the whole point of it, so that we can have a good time, show the Christmas spirit. I mean, we're in the #1 Christmas town in the nation, so why not display that out to the rest of the world?
If you want to get out of the elements, your best bet is to come here to the Snowy Owl Theater. They're going to do 3 shows. One is a very special show. That's an entirely different interview. That's on the 16th. You guys will be getting together on the 2nd at 7:30, and then again on the 10th. The one on the 10th is a fundraiser for some very cool people who do very important work around here.
Yes, MEND is a very big partner that we like to work with. MEND provides a lot of great they provide living situations for people, right, with food, and they have a thrift shop. They have all sorts of things they do to raise money for the people in the valley here. So we're very happy to be able to help benefit that and use our voices to promote their needs.
So December 2nd is just a good old-fashioned show, and December 10th is the fundraiser for Upper Valley Men. How did you end up stumbling into the Village Voices?
It's a good story. I've sang for the last 40 years, through high school, college. I couldn't play football because of a back injury, so I ended up taking theater and choir. And I was in a group for about 26 years. We toured around quite a bit. We got to do some stuff. We actually sang for the Pope at one time. I did a backup for Celine Dion at one point in time. So really cool, diverse background. And my wife and I moved here 4 years during the pandemic. My company allowed me to work from anywhere, so why not work from here? And she said, hey, she was looking on the Leavenworth Facebook page, and she goes, there's a choir here, and they do Christmas music. You love doing that. So I went to their picnic in August, and when it's 100 degrees, and we're starting to sing Christmas music. And it was just a really cool fit, and I got to meet some really neat people in the community.
It is a really neat community. I mean, it's a very welcoming community, Leavenworth is. We have a little, 90-second snippet of the Leavenworth Village Voices to give you a little teaser of what you can expect here at the Snowy Owl Theater on both the 2nd and the 10th. Take a look.
Holy night.
Who decides the repertoire? Do you guys have a leader? Do you have an actual, I'm in charge, and these are the songs we're going to sing, and in the order we're going to sing them, or do you guys kind of wing it?
Well, to be honest with you, there's a lot more going on in the background that you don't know about. We actually have a board. We have a president and a whole board that settles everything. They decide on the music we're going to do. Of course, I believe it's Mindy who puts it all together, our director. She's fantastic. She challenges us every year. And what's amazing is this year we're actually doing 4 different languages. We're doing English, we're doing Congolese language, we're doing Spanish, and we're doing French. Oh. So we'll be doing all 4 languages in our concert this year. And every year she challenges, she pushes us, right? And we actually take language lessons during on how to pronounce all these different languages that we're doing. So it's great. We learn a ton. And so Mindy is the ultimate person who decides what we're going to perform.
How do you know you're getting through to people when you're on stage, that you're impacting them? Because music to me is the ultimate art form. Yeah. It's the unexplainable art form that touches you in a way that no other art form can do. How do you know you're getting to folks?
Well, it's an art form that you always have your instrument with you, right? It's
true.
You don't have to carry anything except it's right there in your throat. And I think the way we feel it is, for some reason, I don't know what it is, in the years I've been doing this, there's a connection with the audience, right? You feel an energy. So after the first song is done, if you really hit them with the first song, there's this connection, and you feel the energy from them, and you draw off that energy. And when we sing with groups like Bosaya and those type, I mean, it just escalates it even more. It's an amazing experience.
You wouldn't know it, but your dentist might have a really good voice. There's only one way to find out. Again,
come join us.
Come join it. The shows are going to be Saturday, December 2nd at 7:30, and then again, the benefit for Upper Valley Mend is going to be on Sunday, December 10th, and all of that, the matinees, all of that's going to go to Upper Valley Mend on the 10th.
And the Bavarian Brass is joining us for both of those concerts. So always a good thing to know. Bavarian Brass is a traditional band that's come in through Leavenworth. They're fantastic to play with, so we really enjoy having them with us.
Tickets are available on the Icicle Center for the Performance. It's icicle.org. It is the first thing that pops up. Don't blow it. Get tickets.
And also, you can get them off our leavenworthvillagevoices.org page. If you go to leavenworthvillagevoices.org, you can also get your tickets through there. There's a link to the tickets, and so there's 2 different ways to get it, so no excuses not to come.
One more question, David, we'll cut you loose. How do people get involved in the Leavenworth Village Voices? You said you could use some more bodies. You always could. A choir is a choir.
Yeah.
The more the merrier. How do people get involved?
LeavenworthVillageVoices.org. We have a calendar up as to when we have recruiting. You can always contact us through that. You can get a hold of our president or anyone. Click on the link, and they'll put you right through to them and say, hey, how can I get involved? And they'll tell you when to show up. Generally, we have a big picnic, a potluck picnic in August, and everyone can come to it who's interested. Even if you're just questionable, come to that. We have a blast. You get to meet people, and then we start singing Christmas music in 100-degree weather.
Even if your voice sounds like a cow with its leg caught in a fence, how are you gonna know? And besides, these guys will just cover up all your mistakes anyway, right? It's good to see you, David. Thanks for taking time out of your busy day.
I appreciate it, Dan.
We'll be right back.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35 plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma. Stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem Halo ultraviolet air purifier. Either way, the air quality in your home will be improved. Proudly servicing all of North Central Washington, call 884-6444 today. Crown Furniture knows the most important part of a healthy and productive lifestyle is good quality sleep. The Englander Mattress Company is dedicated to manufacturing the best mattresses made in the USA. Englander chooses the finest materials made in the USA with a drive, dedication, and attention to detail, earning them a 99% satisfaction rating. Stop by Crown Furniture today on South Wenatchee Avenue and save up to 35% on select Englander mattresses.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
The newest generation of GMC Sierra pickups offer the most advanced technology, the strongest selection of powertrain, and everything else you need to work hard, play hard, and explore the boundaries of the Wenatchee Valley and beyond. Take a look at the latest, most luxurious and durable trucks on the market.
You will see why GMC is not your grandfather's pickup.
You want to bet, kid?
Beautiful morning, 30 degrees here in the Wenatchee Valley, and we're actually the warm spot. We're the only one in our viewing area that's at that 30-degree mark. Everybody else is actually below that. Ellensburg 25, Ephrata at 27, Moses Lake is at 27, Manson's at 29, Dryden 29. It's kind of cool out there, but it is, after all, mid-November, but we're in for some very nice weather, very quiet, very benign. It was a beautiful Monday, unless you were caught in that traffic jam trying to get across the Senator George Seller Bridge. And we got some very nice weather all the way through the rest of this week and into the weekend, but things are going to change for Thanksgiving weekend. We'll get to that in just a little bit. We have a little time. It's such a beautiful morning. Let's do another tour around north central Washington with our cameras. That is obviously the Cougar Ridge camera. Now, I don't know what cameras Uriah has chosen. We'll just have to spitball it, but good morning to our friends on the north end of the town, the Old Station Industrial area. Sleepy Hollow, Sunny Slope, of course, continues to climb up towards the top of Birch Mountain, and it will continue to do so, and some snow in the Cascades towards the Leavenworth area. From our Cougar Ridge camera, that is zoomed, obviously, all the way out. And it looks like we're past the peak of the colors of the leaves, for the most part, anyway. What else does Uriah want to go see? He wants to go see the Omi Garden camera. Just a bank of high clouds way off to the left, and that's really about it. That's a beautiful view as well. Light traffic on the Ottobastion Bridge. Of course, Tuesday, things get back to normal. A lot of people are off Mondays. Eastmont and Wenatchee school districts do late start. But Tuesdays, it's like, okay, back to work. Good morning to our friends out in the Old Station area. Camera 3. Ooh, Lake Chelan chimes in. I think that's our Lower Butte camera. You can see a little bit of the development on the north shore of Lake Chelan off to your right for the most part. A beautiful day up at the lake. You can see a little bit of Wapato Point there. That's from our Lower Butte camera. We have two of them. One down low, about 2,700 feet above sea level, and one right on top of the butte. That's the Lower Butte camera. And finally, we say good morning to Bill E. Goat, USA. Still a stunning view. Hello, Alta Lake. You can see the housing development. I don't know if you can get a tea time at Alta Lake. I have to seriously doubt it at this point. Good morning to Brewster, Pateros, Bridgeport, Tenasket, Omak, Orville, Okanagan, Riverside, and Tunk Mountain. Gorgeous view there. So outside of this week, it's looking pretty good. Next week, the Climate Prediction Center says we're going to have a little bit of change here in the north central Washington area. This is the long-term outlook, and this does include Thanksgiving week. And as you can see, if you look to your left, we have about a 50 to 60% chance of seeing our temperatures below normal, both our afternoon highs and our overnight lows. So we are going to cool down quite a bit. Below normal temperatures looks like it's probably going to happen for most of next week and right on into Thanksgiving weekend. As far as precipitation, yeah, about normal, which means we could see some snow in the mountains. Now, in fact, they say snow is going to be likely in the mountains for the later part of next week, and maybe a little bit of light snow in the valley. We'll have to wait until we get to late this week and early next week to get you a good grasp on what Thanksgiving week looks like. From the National Weather Service, you want sunshine, you got it. 46, which is just about normal. 30 for the overnight low tonight, which is just about normal. Couple of clouds in the morning Wednesday, giving way to sunshine tomorrow afternoon. We'll get up to about 47. 28 for the overnight low, going to be a little chilly on Wednesday because it will be clear. Thursday, mid-40s, sunshine. Friday, mid-40s, sunshine. Saturday night into Sunday morning, maybe a little bit of rain and warmer temperatures. And that's it for us. Have yourself a good Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.
In helping American heroes of harvesting the best tasting food on the planet.
Plus, we salute Flags of Valor.
This veteran-owned and operated company also helps our country's heroes.
Then join us as we meet a courageous Marine whose leadership in war set him on a path of hope for thousands back home.